Hello, Catherine. Thank you for taking this
Hi.
time. Yeah, thank you for taking this time to, share with us and spend this time with us insights about how we can build our inner immune response system.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
Hi.
Katherine Khoo is a friend of mine, and she's a nutritional therapist, and she's based in Singapore. Um, Singapore has started circuit breaker for 2 weeks now. Has it been, Catherine?
It's okay actually, I believe. There's a lot of social distancing, a
Mm-hmm.
lot of, I believe it's the same in Malaysia as well. So a lot of public areas are blocked off, retail shops are closed. But I guess the good thing is we can still travel.
Mm-hmm.
Public transport is still working. It's
Mm-hmm.
just that there's distancing. You just have to sit further from each other.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so if there's any limited movements, is still available. If you have to do like a shopping rush, grocery shopping rush, you can still go ahead and do it. Yeah.
Health-wise, how's everything doing, Catherine?
Same. If not, I would say, at least for me personally,
Uh-huh.
I'm taking a little bit more focus on my health. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
this is a good time to reevaluate yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I did spend the first 2 weeks to reevaluate myself, my businesses, personal life, and see how to better improve on certain things.
Yes. So whilst we are, doing our part, flattening the curve, right, trying to help with that, I noticed that a lot of us, keep the social distance, keep our hands sanitized, always wash them, and then keep things around us sanitized as well, right? So,
Yeah.
um, uh, and that's great. So but the thing is, I like to know, and if you can share some tips with us, right? What other things that are important that can help us? Because um, cleaning is one thing, wearing masks is one thing, keeping our social
Yep.
distance is another thing, right? But at the
Yep.
same time, I understand that um, what's most important is really building our own immune response system. Right, and building immune
Yes.
response system is not something that you do just yesterday and tomorrow. It will be great, right? So it's something that
Yep.
you build up over time, right? So I was just thinking, maybe today we discuss about the important things that we need to do to build that up, and give our viewers um, a some tips on what they can care for and look out for. So I understand that basically you are what you eat. That's what they say, right? So let's talk a little bit about food. In terms of food, how does food and what type of food help build or basically disrupt your immune system?
I think actually you're very right. Your immune system is, at the end of the day, whatever medication, whatever supplementation, whatever it is that you take as a quick fix to build your immune system. At this, if you want to maintain that healthy, responding, functioning immune system over a long period of time, it still comes back to your lifestyle. And one of it is obviously your diet.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing wrong with taking those health supplements for a quick boost.
Right.
But yes, that's just a quick boost. After that, how do you maintain that? It still comes back to what you eat, your hydration, your exercise, and your stress, and so on and so forth.
Right.
Yeah. On diet wise, in a very, very foundational level for your immune system,
Mm-hmm.
I think the most important is to look at inflammation. Nutritionally, the type of food you eat plays a role. very strongly, as in you need to eat food that is rich in nutrients. And that is not a new sentence. I did not just give you like a rocket science, or no. Everybody knows this, that the food that you eat will influence your immune system, whether it's rich in vitamin C, if you eat a lot of fresh vegetables, a lot of good unprocessed food, which is rich in nutrients, vitamin A, vitamin C, then yes, your immune function will be better. A lot of flavonoids, polyphenols. Or
Mm,
if you tend to eat a lot of processed food that is high in calories, empty calories, but no nutrients,
mm.
then yes, obviously you're not helping your immune system either, because your immune system needs nutrients to function too, just
Right.
like the rest of your body. But the other more important aspect that I want to highlight is inflammation.
Mm,
Now, I notice that a lot of people make that mistake. They will be popping vitamin C pills, and I believe a lot of people do that because I see vitamin C, vitamin D out of stock.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I load up on some vitamin C's myself.
which is
But
fine, which is good. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So loading up is one thing, but
Okay.
then if
But
you keep eating the wrong,
I think what
yeah,
I do, okay, I supplement my existing diet with vitamin
yes,
C's because I know that
yes,
I'm not having enough in terms of either
yes,
quantity or
correct,
variety, right? So in terms
correct,
of all phytonutrients, all the colors, I may not be getting all the colors in one meal, right?
yes,
Yeah, so
correct,
so that's what I do in supplement, I but I don't take vitamin C's in place of my food. It's not like I'm
yes,
popping pill and then after that I forgot about my good food, you know. Yeah. So
correct.
did I do
So
it right?
yeah, so you did it right. Hence the term supplement.
Okay.
It's to
Right.
supplement your diet. Yeah. But
Right.
having said that, you may be wasting your supplementation if your diet is wrong,
Right.
which is
Okay.
what I see a lot of people are doing. They would be supplementing with very good, uh, possibly even expensive supplements, and then after that they will be eating very high inflammatory diet without inflammatory foods like potato chips,
Mm,
cakes. Not saying that you cannot eat cakes, you can, but not in huge like quantities every day. Or junk food, and especially in this period when we are all trapped at home, there is a tendency to just overload on junk food. And fast food also with the order ins, you tend to overload as well on the fast foods. So if you are not eating it, if you're not eating right, you're not eating a healthy diet, your supplementation might just be wasted, and it's not being used fully to enhance and boost your immune system. Yeah.
right.
So just take that in mind, that yeah, you can supplement very well, but your diet still plays a role.
Okay, I I'm seeing that a lot on Facebook right now, especially when the wrong ketua rumah has been sent out. Then a lot of potato chips, super rings, making me get some
Keropok. Yeah, yeah.
keropok, you know.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
and I think I fall trapped to that also because I've started baking.
Yeah, it's
And
okay. Yeah.
can't resist the things that come out, fresh out of the oven, So I do it a little bit more, um, I guess not that healthy, but we try to pick the right flour, and
Yeah.
reduce sugar and things like that. So you spoke about flavonoids. Just for the
Yeah.
interest of our viewers, can you give us an example? Because you mentioned that that's important in like what are flavonoids?
Flavonoids are nutrients. We call them phytonutrients. They are actually antioxidant, or in a very simple terms, healthy nutrients that is found in fruits, berries, vegetables.
Right.
And
Okay.
yeah, and commonly they come in colors.
Okay.
So the more colorful the food is, the flavonoids the more flavonoids they have, and the different type of flavonoids they have. Yeah.
I see. Okay.
So yeah, and they usually coexist with vitamin C. So sometimes you will see vitamin C with flavonoids, so they coexist together.
Okay. So you I guess one last thing about food or nutrition, what is a good portion? What kind of like okay, I know that we try not to take processed foods and junk food right now, right?
Yeah.
So then what's a recommendation of what type of nutrients to take?
Okay. First I'll talk a bit about the junk food first.
Okay.
Yeah. Now if for me, I realize this: if you were to tell someone don't eat the potato chips, they will end up finishing the whole bag. Normally, that's what happens. So even for myself, sometimes if I tell myself, "No, I'm not going to eat it," yeah, I'm not going to eat it, and then I will finish the whole bag. So it happens as well. I think for the first thing what I learned is that it's okay if you eat it in small quantities. So
Oh,
it's more of a mindful awareness that how much you have eaten. And to do that, I realized, at least for me personally, if I want to eat something for me, but like a potato chip, let's say, I will bite in very small bites.
okay.
Yeah. And it works for me because after a while you bite in very small bites and it's salty anyway. So after a while you feel, oh gosh, it's really salty. Then you stop.
Mm,
You kind of give your stomach the time to send a signal to your brain in a very simple terms, yes. And then or your tongue the time to send a signal to your brain. So then after a while you realize that gosh, it's really, really salty, and then you just stop. But if you're not mindful about it and you just keep chunking it in, you could have finished one big bag without even realizing how salty it is until you finished it. Then only you realize, oh gosh, it's so salty, but you have already finished the whole bag. So that's
no
yeah.
wonder,
So
no wonder they say you've got to take the time to eat your food, so that
yes,
the brain can process it, like what's good for you and what's
yes,
not good for you, and then they'll send a signal to you.
yeah. So it's the same with cakes and cookies and all that. Just enjoy it slowly,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't have you will not have the tendency to just finish like half the cake is gone. So it's not to say that you totally cannot eat. It's not going to work. Yeah, you can, but just be mindful of how much you've eaten, and keep it in small portions. So make sure that yeah, your junk is maybe 20%, but the rest of your 80% of the diet is healthy food. Yeah.
Okay.
And by healthy food, what I mean is your make sure there's enough vegetables, there is fresh meat, properly cooked meat, not the processed meat, the nuggets and all that, not that, but proper protein sources, whether it's animal protein or plant-based protein, and then some fats, some healthy fats. Don't cut out the fats; it's fine. Just leave the fats in, as long as it's healthy fats. By healthy fats, the easiest way is make sure it's not hydrogenated. Make
Mm,
sure there's no margarine
mm,
or any vegetable oil that is solid. Vegetable oils are
mm.
supposed to be in liquid. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
All right.
so if you're baking, use packed butter. Don't use margarine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lots of good butters. Yeah. Um.
Yeah.
So I, I'm actually curious about the next thing, right? So you know, now that we are mostly at home, a lot of people actually stay up quite late. You know, you've got
Yeah.
Phantom of the Opera showing. You know, yeah, you've got so many great shows right now, and um, I'm curious about having enough sleep and whether that actually affects our immune system as well.
It does. It does in the long term. It
Oh,
does if chronically you keep sleeping late for say for a few days or weeks, then yes, it does affect, especially so in children,
especially in
because
children.
children normally need more sleep.
Right.
right? You realize that as we grow older, we need less and less sleep. So yeah, for children, need a lot of sleep. So it's very important that they get the necessary sleep. Then for adults, adults will differ.
Mm-hmm.
Some people will survive with 5 hours. They feel totally refreshed. They are good. So it's fine. Some people cannot. 4 5 hours is like I'm dying the next day. I need like
I need 8.
6 to 8 hours.
I need 8.
Yeah, so everyone differs. You have to find the hours that you are most comfortable with. You wake up, you feel good, you feel refreshed. That's what you need. Yeah.
Right. So
And in
the number,
general, it's 6 to 8 hours lah.
okay.
Yeah.
So the number of hours matter. And what about the
The
timing?
quality as well.
Quality matters.
Uh, the
The
yeah.
timing?
The timing matters too, because certain body function biologically will start, like detox will start at a certain time. So modern lifestyle, let's say by 11, you try to be resting by 11, and then maybe go to bed by 12. That would be just nice.
Right. Okay.
Never go exercise at 11 p.m. at night.
Because of this logic, I've heard some people say, well, I exercise, I get a bit more tired, then I fall asleep better.
Yes, this is not the first time. Some people tell me that I exercise so that I exercise at night. I exercise after 9 p.m. at night, so that I feel tired. Then I can fall asleep. If I don't exercise, I cannot fall asleep. Normally that's what they say lah.
Mm-hmm.
Now uh, the exercise is just a quick fix. There is some other issues that you may want to look at and find out why you cannot sleep.
Right.
It's
Okay.
like popping a sleeping pill to go to sleep. The sleeping pill is just a quick fix. There is something else, yeah,
Mm.
underlying.
Mm. So this brings us to the next, the next item. How is then, exercise important for the immune response system?
Yeah, the exercise helps to balance your stress response. So if throughout the day, say you're pulling your hair at home because your kids are very noisy, for example. So if there is a lot of stress throughout the day, and exercise does help to rebalance the stress. So it rebalances your stress hormone, and once the stress hormones is rebalanced, your immune system is not suppressed. So the higher your stress hormone is, or the higher your stress level is, the more your immune system is suppressed. So by
Right.
rebalancing that, yes, yeah.
The
So
higher the stress hormones is, the
if you
more.
notice that
Mm.
in a corporate setting
Yeah.
when work is very stressful,
Yeah.
you will also notice that people tend to fall sick, or
Yes.
someone tend to fall sick more and get more MC when the situation gets stressful.
Right, right. Because I was just about to ask you about, the thoughts that we feed our mind, right? Like, and these
Yes.
thoughts are basically, things that we come about every day, be it work, be it children, being family, So,
Now
and
business.
yeah, now business, and the thing is, as we process them, it gives us different kind of feelings and emotions. Obviously, some of them
Yes.
are happy news, and that's great, right? It produces endorphins and all that. These are happy hormones. But then, what if there are bad news, and then it gives us a different types of emotion, yeah, so you just answered my questions, so we do need to um, manage our thoughts and our
Yes.
emotions, yeah, and it has direct
No,
effect on our immune response system.
correct. I think most of the time when I mention stress, right, the first thought is, no lah, I don't have stress. I'm okay. I can manage it. I'm still functioning. That's not the point. Your brain doesn't care whether physically you're functioning or not. As long as there is stress, especially over the long term,
Mm.
your stress hormone will go up. Your brain will induce your body to release the stress hormone, so it will go up.
Right, okay.
Yes, you can still function. You are still functioning. In fact, you could be functioning very well. stress hormone goes up because it's helping you to cope so that you can still function. But at the same time, when it goes up, it will push your immune system down. It will suppress the immune system.
So the person might
So
not even know then, because
no,
that person might be very effective because it might
exactly.
have induce the fight flight freeze
Yes,
response system, right?
the fight and
Yeah,
flight response.
yeah.
Yes,
And then after
yeah,
that, they feel more energized and they feel more productive, but
correct.
in the
They
background
think
is
all
actually,
is well.
yeah. And then tomorrow they suddenly like fall sick and they don't know why
They
because they're
crash.
feeling stressed.
Yes.
Okay, I get you. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's not about how we feel and whether we can manage that stress or not, but it's basically how our body is actually um, reacting and responding to it.
Yes, correct. And there is a reason why the body suppresses your immune system because as you are running from danger or fighting off your some dangerous thingy, you don't want to be having a fever or a flu or something. That is not the time for you to fight infection per se. So if there is any infection, your immune system's response is very poor because it's the time to run first. You fall sick later. You fight back on the infection later. So that's what is happening. And we don't want that in this period when there's COVID-19 going around.
I understand. Okay,
Yeah.
so to
And
then we have to do then like a lot of things to make sure that um, the body is ready to fight infection.
yes.
And it's just not just
Yes.
COVID-19, right? It's just any type of
No, it's
infection.
not. It's just any type of infection. Yes. Yeah, that is a very good statement because before COVID-19, nobody talks about immune. It's like, yeah, I'm fine. And then COVID-19, and then everybody talks about immune. But the fact is, um, a healthy immune system should not be just a COVID-19 affair. And in fact, if we are not careful about it, there may be another COVID-19A or 19B or COVID-20 because it's a virus. Eventually, it's going to mutate, and it is mutating already.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm,
So yeah. So at the end of the day, it comes back to our immune system. How are we maintaining? How are we building it? How are we maintaining it? Make sure that it is strong, it is healthy, and
mm.
it's not just for infection. It is also to prevent diseases, inflammatory diseases like diabetes, autoimmune,
Mm.
cancer. So all of this has got to do with your immune system.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's where the fundamentals is. It starts with the immune system.
Yes.
Right. So one last thing, I think hydration or having sufficient liquids in the body is also important, um, and it helps with the immune system. So what kind of liquids and how much? Can I have like 2 cups of coffee a day? Or wine, or soda. Because I think everyone enjoys all that.
Water is water. Yeah, there are some other like tea, non-caffeinated tea. The general rule is anything that has caffeine
Hmm.
or sugar,
Hmm.
or well, if there's milk, there's sugar lah. Anything that has caffeine or sugar is not water.
Okay.
Cannot be. It's not hydrating. Yeah. So you need to find, especially caffeine, because caffeine is a diuretic. In fact, it will clear water.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So if you drink coffee, then you will have to top up with more water
Water.
after that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I think you
Fruit juice.
generally can feel it because you can feel the dehydration in the mouth after having
Yes.
some,
Now
right?
that you said it, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I should actually have my water as well. How
Yeah.
much should we be drinking every day in terms of water?
At least 1.5 liter. That is like least 1.5 liter.
Right.
Yeah. And if you are exercising, you're sweating, drink more, because there has been some studies that I've come across that says that if you go into dehydration, not enough water, your first line of immune defense, your innate immune system, your first line of immune defense actually drops.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So
So
you
that's
may
actually
want to,
quite vital as well. Yeah.
yeah.
Staying hydrated.
Yep.
I read somewhere, right, that even the way, the manner we drink it is actually important. Yeah, they were saying don't gulp everything, the whole 1.5 liter, and I'm done for the day,
Yeah.
and let's drink my wine right now. But you should be drinking, spacing it out and drinking
Throughout.
throughout the
Yeah.
day, and preferably warm water as well, and preferably that's the first glass that you drink in the morning. Is this all true?
It does help if you drink a glass of water in the morning. That means before you eat anything. I notice it for two reasons. One is because, yeah, you need to flush out a lot of things that has been detoxing overnight in your kidney and your liver and all that. So that's one. Then the other thing is it helps you to drink that minimal amount. You've already finished before you do anything in the morning. You gulp down 1 to 2 glasses of water. You kind of, if it's 2 big glasses of water, you already finished that 0.5 liter per se. You set it aside. So yeah. So if you're someone who forgets to drink throughout the day, um, yes, you can do that in the morning to help flush out toxins as well as complete drink hydration when you wake up.
Right.
You have
Okay.
not been drinking as well over the night, so it's a good hydration mode to do that in the morning. Yeah. Then another thing that I find helpful is to have a tumbler moving around with me. Yeah,
Yes.
because there
That.
is, or a mug moving around.
Mhm.
I noticed as well that because last time when before the lockdown, when we were moving, when I was moving out visiting clients for meetings and all that, there's always a water bottle with me.
Mm.
Yeah.
And it
So
helps
when you
remind
are
you that.
waiting,
Yeah.
correct. So when you're waiting at a bus stop, you have a sip. But when I'm locked down here, that I didn't use the water bottle. So there are some days where you will be just hunking down in front of the laptop, focusing, and then you realize, well, half the day gone, and the only water I had was 1 glass in the morning.
Okay. So good to
Yeah.
have a tumbler around, and I guess it's like nothing to do. You can just take a sip, and then your water intake of the day has been taken care of.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let me just summarize. What's important is actually we just should not look at, um, you know, COVID-19 as COVID-19, right? So we do need to look at building our immune system for the long haul, right?
Yeah.
For other things, right? For other inflammation, for preventing diseases as well, and even future COVID, don't know what, right? But and the, what's important is nutrition wise. Try our best to eat less processed foods and have as much flavonoids in our foods as possible. Balance
Yep.
it out with proteins, fats, and basically vegetables. Fiber, and the vitamins that are in the fiber. Have ample sleep. And sleep at appropriate times. Have ample liquids and hydration in the system. Constantly exercise and always clear our thoughts. And that helps in totality with overall and in the longer term building our immune system. Did I get all
Yep.
that right? Okay.
Yes, you did. The only one other aspect that I just want to highlight is vegetables and fruits are different.
Mm-hmm.
So when we say eat more vegetables, we mean eat more vegetables, not eat more fruits. Okay.
Okay, because of the sugar in the fruits.
Yes, correct. Because there's always this term that people use interchangeably. And yeah, and then it's very common when you tell someone eat more vegetables, and they will tell you that, yeah, I'm buying bags and bags of apples or bananas and I'm eating them very well. No, I mean vegetables, not fruits. It's two very different things. Yeah,
Okay. That's right. Yes. So thank you so much for your time, Catherine, today. I've
no
learned
problem.
Yes, I've learned quite a bit, and some of them are actually good reminders for me as well. And I guess it's time for some questions, and then we will look at the comments and see if our viewers have any questions for us.